Hey there everybody, Douglas Weed here again for another unboxing video. This week we're going to be taking a look at the Band of Brothers series Ghost Panzer. The game was designed by Jim Cron, and the game has a lot of nice features from the outside of the box. But let's take a look on the inside and see what we've got going on here. I picked up this game a few years ago from a game convention. Somebody was just disposing of a bunch of random games, and this I found in a box on a free table at our local game convention, which is the Dundracon Game Convention. So I haven't opened it, and I hadn't really had a reason to. And then I found Dan's channel, which is No Enemies Here, and he talks specifically about board games, and I wanted to put out some content that he might appreciate as a thank you for everything he's done for me. So let's take a look on the inside of Ghost Panzer. So, nice sturdy box. It's got a nice inlay to it. Make sure everything stays. So it's got some nice dice. A nice glossy thick rule book. So nice designer notes. It includes original photos, which is kind of nice. So it has the standard infantry rules, command points and movement, infantry fire, how to take casualties. Kind of reminds me of an Avalon Hill book, except it has a few more pictures to it. Roads and hedgerows and lines of sight. So it's going to be an interesting game. And trench warfare and smoke for Ghost Panzer only. The game is completely addable to the original game, which is the Screaming Eagles edition. So half tracks, scenario cards, concealment, flamethrowers, which is the Ghost Panzer only, Stukas, so you have aircraft, recommendations for solo play. I think games that add solo play are better games because they want to make sure that anybody can play them and have a good time with them. So I think that's a nice choice. Infantry training scenarios. So then you have additional scenarios. The Bloody Triangle, Our Goose is Cooked, Hill 251, the Vazma Pocket, 12 miles from Moscow, so it's very heavy Russian front. The Last Blitzkrieg, Stick to Them Like Glue, Like a Good Neighbor, The Back of My Hand, Start of a Death Ride, Obian Alone, The Corson Pocket, and then one that caught my eye, which I thought was kind of neat. Dubno or Be Shot. That screams very Russian. The first T-34s, meeting engagements. So it looks like a very interestingly put together book. I like the nice color glossiness to it. I think it's a nice touch. And then has very Avalon Hill feel with the actual punch outs. So it has a whole bunch of Soviet pieces. Oops. Suppression, movement, op fire, sustained fire, smoke. They punch out really easy, so you don't have to worry about ripping them. I almost punched a bunch out when I tried to open it. Then you have all the German units, a few more Soviets. The infantry player aid card, which I'm always a fan of additional aid cards, which is kind of nice. And then you have the board. With the board, it's not Avalon Hill-like because it doesn't have that fold-up option, but it's double-sided, so it allows you for more versatility for the game, which I think is a nice touch. So that way you can readjust however you need. Hedgerows, roads, trees, buildings, little towns, more towns. And it has that nice glossy feel to it, so that way it keeps them nice and easy from getting damaged. So overall, it looks like a really good game. And like I said, it's completely addable to the Screaming Eagles, which it does mention that on the back of the box here. So let's take a look at that. So Band of Brothers Ghost Panzer is the second in a series of fast-playing games of squad-level combat in World War II. It's a standalone game that follows the critical success of Band of Brothers Screaming Eagles. Ghost Panzer, named for the symbol used by the 11th German Panzer, follow the division from the invasion of Russia through 1941 up until their withdrawal from the Western Front in 1944. All their major battles are represented, including the Bloody Triangle, the largest tank battle until Kursk, Operation Typhoon, and the drive on Moscow, where they became 12 miles from the capital, Case Blue, the relief attempt of Stalingrad, Backhand Blow, the southern pincer of Kursk, and the Korsun Pocket. The system includes suppression, proficiency, casualty ratings, and not knowing how your army units will respond until they are needed. Based on years of research, this game is completely different from any other squad-level game. Kind of reminds me of Squad Leader a little bit. It is very realistic, but the realism is backed into the system. Players will spread their troops out, fire and maneuver in realistic fashion, not because a simple rule forces them to, but because the system rewards this realistic play. This allows the game to be incredibly simple. There are no combat charts and very few exceptions to remember, even though the game includes infantry, tanks, and artillery. For those who have Screaming Eagles, the game includes easy and early and mid-war German tanks, Panzer Grenadiers, half-tracked flamethrower tanks, Stukas, hills, trenches, and large array of Russian squad types and tanks. The game has also included a couple of optional rules, including unconfirmed kills, infantry flanks, and combat events. There is also a simplification of infantry proficiency system. So it looks like it's a really good game. It's a playtime anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours, I guess, depending on what scenario you have. And out of a difficulty rating of 10, it comes up at a 3. So the game was released in 2013, again, like I said, by Worthington Games. And it looks like a really nice addition and a nice basic war game that looks like just about anybody can pick up. Well, this has been an unboxing of Ghost Panzer. Hope you enjoyed it, and as always, have a great gaming day.